We got Chris, we got Ben, we got Chris and Ben and Ben and Chris and Ben. It's the Neas podcast with Chris and Ben and Chris and Ben.
Well, hello and welcome to the first ever video podcast of the Not Even a Show. This is the video podcast edition. Why would we do this, Ben? What the fuck is the point of this? What is the purpose of it? Why did you push so hard for this?
I think it'll be better.
But like that was, and that's weird. That was like your whole pitch. That's like that was the energy you had in the meeting. That was your entire pitch was that, and they bought it somehow. I mean, like, what? How do you get something like that done? You show up to half the meetings. Okay, so what do you see moving forward as the benefit of this video podcast?
People can see my reactions now. That'll be good.
You think you have good reactions? Is that some? I just gotta adjust this here quickly. Just want to make sure if we're gonna do it right. You know. Did somebody tell you at some point that you have good reactions and that you believe that that's something that is worthwhile? Because you want to charge people more money for this, right? Is that the idea?
Yeah.
This is one of your money making schemes,
Yeah.
right? This is one of your classic get rich quick schemes. Is that the way you describe it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hopefully it works out. I mean, I get some of the money at least, right?
Yeah.
Thank you. At least I get that. Ben, we have been off for a week. We have 2 full weeks to catch up. I mean, wow, this is exciting. And I thought to myself, what also might be a little bit exciting is if we turn the tables a little bit. I know we've tried to do. Don't look at me right now and say, hey, you've already tried to turn the tables. You've done this bit before. It didn't work. It sucked. No, this is a different one. This time it's different because basically I was in Los Angeles. I did a stream about it, but a lot of people are patrons. They don't watch the stream. And so I thought you could do a little interview about my trip to Los Angeles, get some of the information out for the listeners at home. That might be fun, right?
Yeah, that'll be better because, well, I just went to physio and that's pretty much all I did in school. So, yeah, your stuff will probably be more exciting.
It will. I mean, it definitely will. Not probably.
Yeah, definitely.
But my question is, how did you only go to physio in 2 weeks?
Because I'm really busy with school.
But so your whole life is school now. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Should we check in on that? Because the last time, for anyone who's a big avid fan of the podcast, first off, sorry. Just kidding. For anyone who enjoys the podcast, you know that Ben went to school. He was sort of getting acclimatized to it. Then all of a sudden he was like, fuck this shit sucks ass. I fucking hate this. This is the worst shit ever. Fuck it. And then he was like, okay, maybe I should fucking chill out a little bit. And so where are you at now?
Well, I hate it, but my grades are okay. So I think I can pass it.
So you hate it, but you've put enough time into it. And as we've discussed, I think we may be a little bit on the podcast, but definitely off the podcast, that because it's something that you only have to do for a finite amount of time, and it's not a super long period of time.
Yeah, I have like under 4 weeks left.
So you just figure it's worth it to do it, right?
Yeah.
You might as well get you get a diploma or something that's worth something, right?
Yeah. And
it is worth something,
it's
right?
useful skills.
Useful skills. Okay. And in regards to what, like computer stuff?
Yeah.
Computer stuff. Can you help us with some of the computer stuff yet?
Probably not. I'm not good at it.
All right. Can you call me when I should care about these skills? Because we're having an issue with our website, and it is that we don't have. I asked somebody to help do it, and they want money, and that's the issue we're having. And so I said, I'm not paying money for this. When I have Van who's doing school, I can force him to do it for free.
Yeah, I definitely won't charge money because I'm not good at it.
Well, I won't let you do it if you're bad. No.
I can look at it.
No, don't. Please. That's not and I'm joking. Of course I will pay you. And of course I have somebody has helped out to build the website. That in all actuality, what we need is somebody to maintain the website. continue to upload things and just maintain it and make sure that everything is.
Yeah, that's probably easier than building it.
It is.
Yeah.
Definitely is. Probably easier. Okay. What's happening with improv? Are you going out to more classes now, or are you just still fucking swinging that big fucking passing grade improv dick around town, just fucking slapping that thing all over stages left, right, and center?
I went to a drop-in class.
Yeah, that's what the big dogs do. That's what the big papas do. They just roll in. Hey, I'll just fucking drop in. You guys doing some improv? Yeah, I'll drop by. I'll fucking toss in a couple of fucking yicks and yaks. Right?
Yeah.
No, not yeah. Yicks and yaks aren't a thing. What? Okay, so how was the drop-in? Where was it? It wasn't one of these weird ones where you go to where it's at like someone's house, right?
No, it was at like a improv place.
That's good. I hate when I hear a story and you're like, yeah, I was at someone's house. And those makes me feel uncomfortable for them and for you, for everybody. Okay, so you go to this improv. You show up with anyone, or you go solo?
Solo.
Okay, is that generally? Do people just show up solo? I mean,
well, sometimes I know people that are there, but I don't go with anyone.
this time, did you know anyone that was there?
There's a few people from previous classes.
Okay. Anyone who's seen you fail or pass?
No.
All right. So was it fun? Are you in the zone improv wise right now? Are you feeling it?
It was fun. I'm not in the zone.
Okay. I asked you on the stream, but people did have a couple of questions, and someone did want me to ask you about what you think is going on with the impeachment proceedings. Do you think Donald Trump will be impeached? And if yes, or if no, do you think he ought to be?
Well, all the stuff I know about it is from like 2 months ago.
Okay.
But he said something about Ukraine, that he was gonna get the money.
Gotcha.
That sounds like he should get impeached.
Just for that? I mean, at first, that is definitely not impeachable. Definitely not. I mean, you're allowed to give aid to other countries.
So wasn't it for doing something?
Yeah,
for information.
Quid pro quo is the term that's being tossed around. Yeah, it was to gather information about his political opponents. That's what makes it an impeachable offense. Not the fact that they just gave money or agreed to give money. Like that happens in all the time between foreign governments. Okay, so that's your understanding of it. Do you think he should get impeached?
Yeah.
Are you one of these classic never Trumpers?
I guess.
I mean, that's like.
Well, does that mean that you like anyone else who's not Trump?
No, it just means that you will not support Trump no matter what. You're a never Trumper. You will never ever support him, ever.
Yeah, I'll never support him.
But you are right. There is a tinge of that in it. You're right to think that, because it is kind of the idea that I will support any candidate against Trump, regardless of who they are. And I don't know. I mean, there's some pretty bad Democratic candidates too. You can probably agree on that, right? Who do you think is as far as the Democrats go, who do you think is a wolf in sheep's clothing, so to speak? Somebody who's more so a right-wing politician and trying to masquerade as a left-wing politician. Somebody who you think would do the most damage to the Democratic Party and to the country of America moving forward if they were to win the presidency. Who is that for you? Who do you think is the nastiest of the Democrats?
Joe Biden.
Biden. I mean, I don't disagree, but that is interesting because he actually has a good chance. Anyways, that's enough politics talk. Ben, you must have done something else this week, because I know you're not going to be able to interview me for a long time at all. And we don't have questions. Everyone's forgotten and they don't care.
I did a float tank.
Holy, serious? Is it your first time ever doing it, or have you done one before?
I did one like 2 years ago.
That's some Joe Rogan shit. Where did you first hear about float tanks? Was it Joe Rogan?
That's possible.
So for anyone who doesn't know what a float tank is, basically you go into a tank and you jack off for like 10 minutes or whatever, and you can just shoot it wherever you want, right? Correct?
I don't think you're supposed to do that.
Yeah. So what is a float tank? Explain it to the people at home. And use your hands and stuff because there's video now. So make it fucking worthwhile for some reason. Make it something. We're charging a lot of money for them to watch it, and it's a waste. And if they know it's a waste, then they won't give us the money, and we need the money. You do. You need it bad, apparently, coming up with all these schemes. Why don't you just sell drugs?
It seems hard.
Yeah. It's not hard. You just have to be, it is,
For me, it'd be hard, I think.
well, it's just the problem is it's dangerous.
Yeah.
It's not really hard. I mean, it is hard, I guess, to establish yourself and make those connections, but it's more so dangerous. Both you're risking your freedom as well as your own personal safety. Okay, so go on. What's a float tank? Tell the people at home using hand gestures.
Okay, you go into... These good hand gestures.
What? But I can't see them on the camera. They got to put them up high. You can see. Look, that's why we have the monitor there. You can see yourself. There you go. But you also have to talk into the mic.
Yeah.
Everyone who's just listening to the podcast now is like, what the fuck? I hate this video podcast. It's totally destroying the audio.
They're in front. I think that they're in front now.
Yeah, they are.
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, so in what way? So you go into the float, and why are your hands like that? Because that doesn't look like it has anything to do with it.
I was getting them ready to
move, to put them.
Do
Okay,
gestures.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So you go into a big tank and it's dark.
Mm-hmm.
And then they put a bunch of Epsom salts in the bottom of the tank.
Epsom or Epson?
Some Epsom.
I'm just not sure if they were different than the ones I'm familiar with. Okay, so they put some salt. I mean, this just sounds like a fucking bath in the dark. Is it a bath? Is it a bath in the dark?
Yeah, sort of. But they put like 1,000 pounds so that you float, and if you don't have senses, you can't
What? What do you mean?
I don't know.
No, but you don't know what. What is it that you're trying to say? What is it that you're trying to describe?
You can't feel anything.
I see. So they float so you don't feel your extremities or anything.
Yeah.
So okay. So
it doesn't feel like you're lying on anything.
I understand. It's meant to feel. It's like weightlessness.
Yeah, it feels like you're floating.
Okay, very cool. I mean, I've always wanted to try it. How much did it cost you?
I got a Groupon. I think it was like $40 around.
So that's why part of why you're this little schemes that you're trying to do now with the video is part of this to try to pay for some of this float tank stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why you got to include me into it. I didn't agree to any of it, but all right. So how did you like it? Did you enjoy the experience?
Yeah, it was good, but my neck sort of hurt. So then, I got out and I got like neck support thing, and then that helped.
Oh, so your neck, you didn't like floating?
Yeah, it was like lying back, like supported a little bit, but it like made it sore.
I see. Have we really only been? There's no. Hang on one second. I just gotta check something. Oh Jesus, we've only been talking for 13 minutes. How do we do a podcast? Can you answer that for me? How do we do a podcast? All right, well, it's time for this.
Should I talk about physio?
So basically, Ban's basically, this is what Ban's saying. And keep in mind, this is now a $10 podcast for video viewers. People are paying $10 per month, same as Netflix, essentially. And Ban is basically saying, well, I could talk about this thing that I myself deemed to be so boring and bad that I did not even bother bringing it up. And this is me. This is Ban. This is somebody who has brought up very boring things in the past, had no problem doing that at all. And I even thought this thing was not worthy of the podcast. How about I could talk about that and they could have to pay money to listen to that?
Well, you said we didn't do that much time yet.
Yeah, I know. But that's my point, is that's where we're at now, where it's kind of like we have so little to discuss.
Hopefully, yeah. When I'm done school, I'll try to do stuff.
Yeah. And just in general, you should not for the podcast.
Yeah.
By the way, you should just do that for your life.
Yeah.
But I understand school can get to be a lot, and you're working as well at the same time, right?
No.
You're not.
No.
What the fuck? You got fucking time? Are you shitting me? So you're not working at all?
No.
So
I have to be at school for 8 hours a day, and then I have to do projects after.
Oh my, hang on. Thing just went off for a second. So you're 8 hours. So you're full-time school 5 days a week, 8 hours a day?
Yeah.
Okay, I take that back. I'm sorry for my outburst. So you're doing it full time, and then you're doing a bit of comedy at night, perhaps, but it's basically like a full-time job.
Yeah.
Yeah. But and nothing happens afterwards. You go home.
Yeah.
So let's run through one of those
I've
days.
been watching basketball, the Trailblazers.
I know.
They're really bad.
I know. I saw them live.
I know.
I watched them play. They almost won the game that I watched.
Yeah, they almost win every game. That's the problem.
They didn't really almost win against the Raptors, but kind of, I suppose.
It was
Anyways,
close till like 4 minutes.
till 4 minutes. You're right.
And they had a big run.
So why don't we go into that then? We will do this. We will circle back around perhaps. But let's get into a very exciting segment, and this is Ban's interview of Chris. Ban, you are now going to interview me about my Los Angeles trip, okay? You ask as many questions as you would like. When you are done asking me questions and you feel like you have enough information, then we will end the interview, and I will tell you how much information you got percentage-wise, okay? So this is a gradable project that is happening right here. So he will get a percentage. I will say you covered 64% of the things that I did. All right. So here we go.
64% be good.
Yeah. For you.
Yeah, that seems. I'll shoot for that.
For you. Yeah. I mean, I would shoot for. I would be shooting for higher, but it's my trip. Do you know what I mean? I know the stuff I did, so I would hope to get 100. I wouldn't probably because I don't remember all of it. You know, but I would hope to get close to 100. Anyways, all right. Ben interviews Chris about his trip. Here we go. Action.
How long did you go to LA for?
Hey, so can we try to make it a little bit, and I don't want to come at you right away because this is your thing. This is your deal. Can we try to make it like, can we remember that it is a podcast?
Okay. I just wanted some like baseline facts.
No, that's a fine question. It's a fine question. It was just more like you're doing a podcast. We're not sitting here at a bus stop waiting for a bus trying to pass the time. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to so Chris, you went to Los Angeles, like you're a host here. Yeah. You're not just like, what day did you go? You know what we're doing a show, right?
Right.
We're charging people money for it. A lot, and and you think we should charge them more and do the, so it's kind of your whole thing. All right, here we go. He's taking a sip of water for the listeners at home, getting himself prepared. He doesn't want to get parched while he's doing his interview. He might get on a roll. He might start rolling with the interview questions, and he might not have time for a drink of water. That's what he's thinking in his head. Smart interviewing. Okay, go ahead.
So, Chris, I understand that you went to Los Angeles, California.
That's right, Ben. Thank you so much for asking. Yeah, I went on a little trip for my birthday. I was going out. I decided, you know what? I'm going to treat myself. Have a nice birthday trip. Watch some basketball, right?
Yeah, sounds great. How long was your trip?
My trip, thank you for asking, by the way. Good question. 6 days. My trip was 6 days long. So one of the longer trips to Los Angeles. The reason I did that, though, was because there was 2 good basketball games and then a 2-day break and then 2 more good basketball games. So I thought to myself, it's silly to go and miss any of these 4 basketball games. Why is that funny? Why are you laughing at that? That's not a joke. Like, the fuck? I'm just telling you. about my trip. You're laughing in my face. I have a camera on you now. You don't realize that. He thinks that he could just do whatever he wants. He doesn't realize that there's a camera now. I catch all of him fucking laughing at my trip. Like it's a joke to him. And I went to, and you would have loved it too. It's like your dream trip.
Yeah. Oh, I think I laughed because we were talking like it was an interview.
But that's what it is. That's literally what it is, Ben. God, it's actually an interview. Like that's what we should be doing on this podcast that we charge people money for. This guy's like, oh, I'm sorry, I just laughed because we were talking like we were doing an interview. Like that's what. Okay, sorry. All right, continue on.
What was the best game you saw?
Why'd you start talking so loud into the mic?
I was trying to do an interview voice.
This is a nightmare interview. Okay. Go on. What were you saying there? I'm sorry.
What was the best game that you
God, just his mic. This guy's out of control. No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm sorry. It's louder than what I'm used to because you're talking right into the mic, which you don't usually do. Okay, just go ahead.
Okay. Well, I was trying to talk like an interviewer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, their interviewers generally have a good amount of experience, so they're usually pretty good with their audio levels. Generally. Sometimes not. You could be a new interviewer. You could be a new one. Yeah. All right. So go ahead. Ask your question.
What was the best game that you saw?
The best game I saw, great question, by the way. Thank you for asking it. My best game that I saw was the Toronto Raptors versus the Los Angeles Lakers. And the reason for that was it was my first Raptors game that I'd ever seen live. I'd never watched them play live. And then, of course, the Lakers. By the way, man, are you feeling a little bit of the heat now with the Lakers? Be honest.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well.
And do they not look okay? And does Dwight Howard not look like his old self?
I haven't been watching them, but
you haven't.
They've been winning a lot.
Well, he
I've
has.
been looking at the record.
I watched them live, and he has. He's been looking fantastic, and they are really tough to deal with because Javale McGee or whatever, and Dwight Howard and AD having that much size means they can always have a massive dude on. Really, really tough matchup wise, and just generally looking like a very good team. And I think that you are showing your whole ass basically when you said that they were not even going to be in the top 5 of the Western Conference.
I still think LeBron and AD are gonna break down a little bit. And
you think LeBron 5 out of 6 games with triple doubles in the last? You think he's breaking down?
Yeah, when it's like game 60, I think he's breaking down.
Bullshit. Absolute horror. Anyways, so we're not going to get into that. And how dare you do that in when I'm telling my story? When I'm sitting here trying to tell my story of the time that I enjoyed myself on my trip, and you're bringing into you always want to debate about basketball. Ugh. Anyways,
you started that.
You fucker. Okay, so that was the best game because the Lakers had won 7 games in a row. The Raptors were without Kyle Lowry and Serge Ibaka, so it really seemed like they're gonna get blown out. You know, I went with Nick Nemiroff, who's a very funny comic from Montreal but lived in Toronto, and we thought for sure they're getting blown out, but they didn't. They won amazingly. They beat them. They had incredible performances by Hollis Jefferson, who I think played 4 minutes before that. He put up 11 points. Chris Boucher, who was, I believe, homeless on the streets of Montreal 3 seasons ago, and put up 15 points and just had a huge game. And they beat, unbelievably managed to beat the Lakers. So that was the best game, definitely. All of them a lot of fun for different reasons, though.
I saw Chris Boucher play for Canada against China, and he was our leading scorer.
When was that?
Probably a year ago.
Yeah, he's a good player. Very, very. He looks wild, out of control. He's obviously very lanky, but he was hitting threes. It was quite incredible to see. And then the next night, yeah, we watched the Raptors again. They lost to the Clippers. They sort of ran out of juice, which you can imagine would happen. You're on the road playing back-to-back against two of the best teams, and you're missing. And at that point, they were also missing OG. So they also, or he got injured in that game.
He got.
So yeah, that was it was obviously going to be a tough. But even in that game, Chris Boucher looked great again. So I think he might be a decent bench player, as well as the other guy who I told you I liked in the Davis. I think is number 0, rookie, undrafted rookie. He again had 2 great games as well. Anyways, Ben, go on. Ask me another question.
Yeah. What else did he do during the day?
I went to Universal Studios. On one of the days. That would have been the second day, the Thursday. Had a lot of fun. Harry Potter ride. So went on the Harry Potter ride and went on all of the rides, every ride, man.
Is it like Disneyland, like an amusement park?
It is like an amusement park. It has amazing rides, though it's less childlike than Disneyland. Like it's got a lot of adult rides that are like even the Harry Potter ride is serious. Like you're like flipping all around, like it's flipping you around in like they're super intense rides, and I love it. I people know, anyone who watches my stream, anyone who is listening to the podcast knows I love Universal Studios, and I suggest it to every single person who goes to Los Angeles. It is genuinely worth it. Just make sure you check out the time. Some time of the year it is impossible. You'll sit there, you'll only get on 2 or 3 rides for real, and it's a waste of your $100. But if you check the time of year and make sure that you get it, during an off season, you can go like we did. We didn't wait in a single fucking line, ban. Not a single fucking one, dude. So maybe some less. What you want to do is specific questions. Do you know what I mean? Like specific questions, not super general ones. You want to have a sort of something that you're trying to get at, and you want to get at it, right? That's journalism.
Yeah, I want to get some more information first.
About what?
Like what you did, so I could make it more specific.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're going general, then you're trying to bring it specific. Okay.
Did you meet up with anyone that you know from the internet?
And I did, right?
Not. I was assuming you probably did.
I mean, I talked about it quite a bit. You're saying that you didn't know that? I mean, I discussed it quite. You're saying you didn't because it's okay.
I think I saw one tweet.
There we are. And see, it's okay to do that. It's totally fine. But we don't do it like a late night show. We don't try to play it cool. Like, oh, I'm asking you this for the first time. You just say, hey, I saw you mention online that you met up with some people. Who'd you meet up with? What'd you get up to with them? And then it's not like, because then what'll happen is, right? Okay. People will be listening to this or watching it. And first off, they can see, now they're watching you, so they see it on all over your face that you're lying. I mean, you don't hide it. I mean, so obvious to anybody. But they're sitting here watching, and then all of a sudden they think about on Twitter, they saw you fave a tweet that talked about me meeting up with someone, and then they think, well, why was Ben lying to me? Lie of omission and pretending like he did not know that Chris had met up with people. You see?
The only one I saw, you're saying you said like the days that you had free to meet up with people.
Okay, so he's claiming. Listen, folks, this is what I deal with all the time. You saw him on cam, you saw it in his face. You could see that it was a lie. I don't have to defend myself here. Anyways, I did meet up with a lot of people. I met up with a lot of people, Ben. I had a lot of fun. I went for lunch with my friends Derek and Drill on Twitter, and they have a show now on Adult Swim that is Truth Point. Dark Web Rising. Hilarious show. Check it out. I'm sure all of you do who listen to this already, but if you haven't, check it out on the Adult Swim website. You can watch VODs. But I met up with them and Rob and Zeke and Emma. We went out for a nice lunch. Also a Scratchy Record, Squeaky, Finn Trillion. Those are all fans of the channel. Met up for a nice dinner with them. A lunch with Van Apps and Joe and Horhezy. some more fans of the stream, or friends of the stream. Fans is a silly way to say it, man. Why do you always say fans?
I thought that's what you're supposed to say.
Yeah, but it's pretentious. Like, they're not, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Friends is better.
Friends is better. Friends of the stream. My friend Dan, Bro Pair, as I mentioned, him and I went and watched Paul Rust, and also had a Popeye's chicken sandwich. You heard about those?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
Wow. What did you hear about them?
People were lining up to get them, and
I was. I did.
Yeah.
I was one of the people.
Everyone was.
And I know. That's why there was a lineup.
Yeah. I think someone got stabbed or something like that.
People got killed.
So, yeah.
People got killed. It was a good It was a good chicken sandwich. It was tasty. I don't know. Wasn't that good, but it was pretty good, I guess. Not too bad. Anyone else that we met up with? I went to Brandon Wardell's show, and so hung out with Wardell and Jamel Johnson, his friend who does his show with them. And also Bradford Evans and Nick Sorelli were on the show. Online guys, got to meet them for the first time in real life. This was a fantastic trip, man. A fantastic trip for meetups, and I'm so glad you asked that.
What was your favorite food other than the chicken sandwich?
I would say my favorite food was not the chicken sandwich. Will you allow me to use a drink as my favorite food?
Sure.
Well, you sound disappointed. Do you want me to do a food and then I'll do a drink one as well? You sound like you want a food one.
Yeah, probably both.
You probably want a food one. Honestly, the best food I had there, I have a real stomach problem when I go away. So my stomach gets really upset. I get really anxious just physically. Like my stomach goes in knots. I find it really hard to eat. But on the second to last night, Nick and I, before the Lakers-Raptors game, we went to a very nice sushi place in downtown Los Angeles and had some nice ebi nigiri. Ooh, mwah, so delicious, so delicious. So that was my favorite. But as far as drinks go, we were close by Gelson's, which is a very high-end grocery store. Right by the UCB Franklin is where we were staying. Ben?
Okay.
The theater, the improv theater?
Yeah.
And so we went to Gelson's and got some fresh squeezed orange juice, and they have oranges in California.
Yeah.
So they get them. It just comes right from the farm. They just drop them right off, squeeze them fresh as fresh can be. The fresh squeezed orange juice in LA, every restaurant has fresh squeezed orange juice, and it's all so good. And this Gelson's fresh squeezed orange juice that I had, we put it into the fridge in the hotel and just had it for a couple of days. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, it was good. I love fresh squeezed orange juice, Ben. So that's my answer for you. Does that suffice?
Yeah, that was good.
Thank you.
Do you see any other comedy shows?
No other comedy shows, just that one. Oh, I mean, Brandon Wardell's, as I mentioned. So Reggie Watts was on that show as well. So I saw him, which was cool. And then the improv show, the Paul Rush show. We were going to go to the Comedy Store on Friday night, but then we thought we got a busy week. We don't have to be doing stuff every single night. And I'm glad we didn't go in the end. Ben, what's your ideal length? I'm going back into interviewer. I can't help it. It's just kind of the way I am. What's your ideal length of vacation?
Maybe like 8 days.
8 days a week, right?
Yeah. I don't know what that is.
8 what? It's the Beatles. eight. Do you not know that song?
It sounds sort of familiar.
Yeah, it's by the Beatles. You know the Beatles.
Yeah, I don't know their music that well.
Like you've heard their, like Imagine, right?
Yeah, I know that one.
Like the big ones. Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
Okay, so next, I just had a very good idea for a podcast episode right now. It just came to me, and that is, I play songs for Ben, and he tells me the artist. So I play like 5-second clips
Yeah.
of songs, and he tells me what the artist is. This could be a lot of fun because it sounds like this guy don't know shit. All right. Okay, so are you done? Are you done interviewing me, or are you still interviewing me?
I feel like there's more. Did you do anything else fun?
That's can't do that.
Yeah, that was a reach a bit.
That's a reach. I mean, I think you've covered it pretty well. The meetups, the lunches, the shows, the basketball games. I think you did a good job. I'm gonna say it. We're gonna call it right now. The interview is over. But Ben, I'm gonna say you got 85%. 85%. Well done. How does that feel?
That feels good.
Nice. Is that higher than a percent normally that you would get in a school situation?
Yeah.
Much higher. But you're
well,
smart. Why don't you just don't apply yourself or something? You're smart, right?
Like at some things.
Yeah. I mean, I just assume you're smart, I guess. Maybe you're not. I mean, you're smarter than I am. That's the only thing that I know for sure. But sometimes I think maybe I overestimate maybe I don't realize just how dumb I am. Okay, let's move on to some questions. We've got a couple, not really any. And if you do want to send them in to not even a show at gmail.com. You can also ask questions via the website, the wonderful Nothing More Tumblr page. But let's go to a couple of, here we go. This comes from our friend M. Godad. This is a turtle, and it's actually a picture of Mitch McConnell. You see that?
Oh, yeah, I can see it now.
He can see it because we have two monitors, motherfucker. My question for Bam this week is, we all know turtles live a really long time, but would you like to be immortal? What do you think about that, Ben? Would you want to be immortal?
No.
Why not?
I think I need like urgency.
You're saying that you just that's the truth of it. You would never do anything. If you're immortal,
Yeah.
why would you bother doing anything? And then it would just become boring.
Yeah, you could just always be like, tomorrow I'll do it.
Yeah.
And that would work for you.
And you'd be right.
Yeah.
You could say, tomorrow I'll do it, and you'd be right.
Or just like in like 200 years I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, your wife's like, hey, take the garbage out. You're like, I'll do it in 200 years. Yeah. Martha, right? Martha is her name. Probably, right?
Yeah.
All right. We'll come back to that. Looks like there might be something else. We've got, okay. So this is Q&A improv bit from Howie. So now that you aren't too stoned to think about phantom time, any thoughts? So this is something that Howie, I think, asked us on the stoned episode about phantom time. So now that you're not stoned, so let's take a look at the Wikipedia. The phantom time hypothesis is a historical conspiracy theory. And that brings us back to something that I just realized, actually. This is great because somebody did on the stream wanted me to ask you, do you believe in any conspiracy theories, Ben?
No. The only the one about Michael Jordan's dad.
What's that one?
The mob murdered him because of his gambling debts.
Okay. So it's a basketball one. Okay, this phantom time hypothesis, I don't like it. It makes me upset. Oh, I realize I can technically, as I said, M. Goded was asking me about this. I can show the photographs on the stream now by holding my phone up to here, so I will do that. I will show the people at home the actual photo that was sent to me from M. Goded. I just want to view it. So there it is. You see it? There it is. So that's a new thing now. You can, when you send in a photo, I can show it on the video stream. That's another useless sort of piece of shit thing that you can do with this new technology. Okay, well, that's not what I want. Let's go ahead and do this. I think there's an improv on here. So here's an improv suggestion from Howie. Says, you are the bishops charged with making up the history of 600 AD to 900 AD. And you can see Ban's fucking third leg just swinging around in these robes. I didn't make, that's not something I added. That's really what it says. It says, anyway, y'all are great, Howie. Thank you, Howie. I appreciate it. Are you ready to do this scene, man? Do you know what a bishop is? I don't even really. Like, I guess it's like
someone in a church.
Yeah, I guess. So we're making up history. And basically, you got a huge dick. That's this. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Oh, this is where it's going to be good because we can do the video stuff for the improv. Like, okay. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to the improv show. Thank you so much. This guy right over here, this is my pal, Ben. He is, no, it's just the Larry David haircut. It's not... Trust me, it's gonna be very obvious when we start doing the improv that is not comedy genius Larry David. Anyways, Ben, you ready to do a little scene here, pal?
Yeah.
All right.
Ready.
We are, of course, Ben's Flagrant Flying Fuck Fest. Can we both do the hand? That might be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Ready?
What do you do?
We are Ben's Flagrant Flying Fuck Fest. Beautiful. And we're here to do a little improv for you. And that's just about that. And do we have any suggestions? Your bishop's charged with making up the history of 600 AD to 900 AD, and you can see Ben's fucking third leg just swinging around in those robes. Say something.
Yeah, we'll do that.
Perfect. All right, everyone. And action. Do you have any ideas?
Maybe like a famine.
Yeah. Should we maybe go back to like $5.99 and see what happened there?
No.
What? Well, then how? So you're just
okay? Yeah. Okay.
Well, don't fold so easy. That's a big issue with you, man. You got no backbone whatsoever. I've been meaning to talk to you about that. Why don't you have any confidence? You got that huge fucking dick. How big is that dick of yours?
Let's go back to
how big is your dick?
Do you want to measure it?
Don't get don't get all horny with me. Don't try to include me in it. I'm trying to talk to you about your life and how much confidence you should have due to how big your dick is. I don't want to be a part of it. I don't want to jack you off. I don't want to stroke your dick off. I can't imagine how big your loads are. You know, your balls aren't nothing to sniff at either. How big are your balls?
Proportionate.
All right. You never measured it?
Well, they're like...
No, you never measured your dick before?
No.
And that, folks, is how you do improv. If you're ever...
I was trying to think of a bishop unit of measurement, and I couldn't think of it, and so I said no.
If you're ever watching improv, whose line is it anyway? Any of that stuff, you'll see that is standard. That is standard. One of them will say, have you ever measured your dick? And the other one will say no. and then nothing else. Not like no but. Just like no. Just no. No. That's the end. That's the end of the scene. It's over. All right, everyone. Thank you. That's been our thank you. We are Bands Flagrant Flying Fuck Fest. I forgot about the ad that time. And now we've clipped the mic and I have to edit. So that's not good.
Thought I saw you doing the hand.
Let's pour one out. Pour one out for Chris, who's got to edit now because we clipped the mic. And it's my fault too, Ben. I did too, so you don't have to take the heat for it. All right, Ben. I guess that's a podcast. We've been going for 44 minutes now. So if I always try to get to 45 minutes. So if we just kind of talk right now and I sort of describe to you in a little bit more detail than is necessary why it is and how it is that I prefer to get to 45 minutes and just sort of explain that to you in a roundabout way more than once, we will basically get to a point where we get close enough to 45 minutes that I can just put on the theme song at the beginning of the end and we're there. Perfect.
Okay.
Say what's your thing? Your ending.
Take it to the bank.
I think that's good.
That was